What's up, everybody? This is Vito from Perfect Storm Gaming, and this is my man,
Mark Sokol.
Mark Sokol from
Falcon Space.
Falcon Space. And what do we do here? Like, what's my reason? What was it that made me reach out to you to get me here originally? Like, what is it you do, Falcon Space?
So at Falcon Space, we're researching how UFOs or flying saucers, extraterrestrial interstellar spaceships fly, because they're obviously not using gasoline or jet fuel or whatever.
Or
you're
not
not even
cars. They're not using that.
No, there's something special going on with those craft, and it's not rocket propulsion, Elon. It's something different, and that's how they travel the stars.
Right.
So we're trying to figure out how that goes, and we're doing it from a scientific perspective. We're like looking at different theories that have been thrown out throughout the years, and we're trying, the most fundamental physics that we can to get to a core product of like just showing what exactly is going on over here. Like, what's the actual effect that makes it happen?
Like the how. How does it work? Why does it work? What makes it work?
Yeah.
What makes it go bump in the night, essentially? What makes it the ability to just sit there in space and hover? Have you yourself ever witnessed any type of UFO with your own eyes or anything like that? Have you seen anything?
Yeah. When I was a kid, I was 10 years old roughly. I saw a ball of what looked like fire that was slowly moving through the sky towards the horizon. I actually found out later in life that these sightings of these spheres of fire were sighted at the same time by other people. This was in New Jersey, and they were sighted by other people at the same time. So it was a multi-person sighting from different angles, and that got me interested in the whole topic. But I never really thought I would end up doing this.
What did you originally want to do with your life, like growing up? Like, what'd you go to school for?
I went to school for Judaic studies. I was mostly in Orthodox Jewish schools.
Okay.
I always was interested in space. I was like reading science books in the background. During recess, I was learning particle physics and string theory while everyone else went out to play soccer. So I was always interested in advanced physics and research and stuff like that, but I never imagined myself actually doing this.
What I found funny and ironic is a lot of people that I've noticed that are in this field, or just in general, they're interested in UFOs, a lot of them stem from religious backgrounds. Like myself, I'm not. I was never religious, but I see the need for it in society. I think it keeps keeps society morally where they need to be. So I think it's an awesome thing. It's just not my cup of tea, but I've noticed that a lot of people, like Diana Pasolka, she's a big religious person. She's into this stuff, and you wouldn't think that they go hand in hand because it's kind of the antithesis. But we're finding out now with this interdimensional beings that they're talking about now that it could be linked. That could be the angels and demons. That's what I think anyway. That's what they're talking about.
Yeah. I came to that conclusion as well. Like, because Judaism, on the one hand, they have this chosen people thing going on, which doesn't make any sense because with past lives or past life regressionism, you're seeing people that weren't Jews in their past lives or non-Jews that were Jews in their past lives. So you can't be chosen one life and not chosen the next.
Right.
That doesn't really track.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
But on the other hand, what's with the splitting of the sea and all that stuff, that the stories of the Exodus couldn't have been made up because they were passed down father or son, and there's archaeological evidence for them.
Right.
So something definitely happened. So if something happened, the best explanation, in my opinion, is probably extraterrestrials. And that would fit with all of the Old Testament explanations. Like, if you just look at the Old Testament itself, it doesn't have the word God in there once. It says Jehovah. It talks about Elohim, or those who come from above.
Right. Yeah.
So it's talking about extraterrestrials. It's not talking about heaven. Heaven is outer space.
And not to mention, a lot of things were changed from the Bible from back then until now, because a lot of these religious places, they removed, like Catholic Church, basically butchered a lot of the Bible and kept a lot of things to themselves that, like giants and things like that, like things that we know were around. We know we have bones, and there's crazy things that are linking back to it, but they're trying to pretend like it didn't happen. It's insane. I don't understand. I would love to see what the Vatican has myself.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And the Smithsonian, those two are.
I actually was at the Vatican once. It's pretty cool there.
I've never.
But Yeah, I mean, take Genesis for instance. They had the Nachash, or the snake being that was dealing with Adam and Eve. Now, there's other texts like the Zoroastrian beliefs that actually name the snake, and that he was a reptilian named Enki.
Yeah, right.
And in their version of the story, he was the good guy. So yeah, like perspective. You get new perspective when you hear a story from a different angle. And all of these mysteries of the Bible just start to make sense when you throw in the extraterrestrial hypotheses. And when I noticed that, it was like, it was a coming of age moment for me. It was like learning that the Emperor has no clothes, or the Wizard of Oz is a fake.
The curtain, right?
Yeah, it was like turning around, going behind the curtain. And I've actually met quite a few people that have come from very religious backgrounds who've come to similar conclusions, and many of them had ended up on this anti-gravity UFO propulsion research path as a result. Because if they're seeking the truth, you're a truth seeker by nature. If you want to dig down the rabbit hole and figure something out, this is the biggest rabbit hole. This is one of the coolest rabbit holes to be in. It's like,
yeah, it's listen. I walked in. It's a cool show. There's a lot of really cool things in here. I love the setup. It's legit. You guys are really like working on stuff here. It's pretty cool. And I asked you, the one question I asked you was like, is this what you do for a living? You asked me what I do for a living. It's funny because you were like you're actually a fireman for a living? Like, yeah, that's what I do for a living. And it's like, I'm thinking the same thing. Like, this is what you do for a living? This is great. Like, I'd love to get paid to make shit float. You know what I mean? Like, that's essentially what you're doing. Like, how are you able to, because you need to produce a product for a business to thrive and survive. So how are you able to survive with this? You deal with investors and people who believe in what you're doing and go, I back you. Let's see what you can do. And you actually proved an experiment for another YouTuber, Jesse Michaels, correct? So we want to talk about that?
Oh yes. So, okay, welcome.
Secret room.
Welcome to the inner sanctum.
This is the Jesse Michaels room.
This is the Jesse Michaels room. This is our chamber where we had tested the T.T. Brown effect. I removed the T.T. Brown testing device because we were using the chamber for other experiments. But yeah.
So this was it. And you have video of this working and of it going, and
yeah, we have video evidence of it working. It spins one way under high vacuum, spins the opposite direction under lower vacuum, which basically shows you, hey, this is a real device. This is working, and it's not off of ion wind, because ion wind pushes in the opposite direction. So it's overcoming the ion wind in order to turn. And
it's not bullshit. You built it. It works. Jesse Michaels kind of Welsh on the bed a little bit.
Yeah, he needs to come over here and just,
pay this man.
Come over here. We'll set it up for you again.
Get it going. You get and you know what? He can let him bring his own professor. So that way,
yeah, bring your.
That would be the way to go, right? Bring your own professor, and you.
I mean, it's not really about proving that it works or proving that it doesn't work. It's about doing the experiment, because like I don't control the outcome.
Right.
I'm not here to fool myself into, or fool anyone into, seeing results that aren't there. The point of this is to do the experiment. Experiments are unpredictable. You don't know what's going to happen.
It's science.
Yeah, I have research. Yeah, the goal of research is to do stuff that you don't know how to do. If we knew what we were doing, it wouldn't be research. Send a video of this to Namtran.
The spiral is going to ground, high voltage negative at minus 25 kV, going to the bottom center post, just going out those wires, which are attached to the metal cylinders. The ground wire is attached to the center post in the center cylinders, which is wired up, going to top and down the spiral to ground.
Oh yeah. So once I figured out that the UFOs and the aliens were the explanation of the Bible, I was like, we got to figure out this anti-gravity stuff. So one of the first things I looked into when it comes to anti-gravity or warp drive propulsion, whatever you want to call it, was Thomas Townsend Brown. Now, Jesse Michaels went down this path as well.
He's a huge follower. I mean, he talks about him probably every video, Tom. You hear his name at least once.
Yeah. So high voltage. Now, what exactly is voltage? It's kind of like an electrostatic. It's like pressure. It's pressure of electrons. And what Thomas Townsend Brown discovered is that asymmetric capacitors can produce a thrust. Now, I looked into this many, many years ago. Before I had investors, one of the first things I started playing with, and I quickly realized that this is a difficult experiment to set up properly, because you have other forces such as the Coulomb attraction, ion wind effects, other forces that are more powerful, that are prosaic, that would manipulate the data. So in order to do this properly, it needs to be done in a vacuum chamber where many of these things are accounted for properly. And Jesse Michaels put out a YouTube video where he talked about
He put out a challenge, right?
And he put out a challenge at the end saying 50 grand for anyone who can properly...
And you said, all right, bet, right?
Yeah.
And you're like typical Jersey boy. You're like, oh, I got you.
I got you, yeah. And I was in contact with him too. I had him on Signal, and we were communicating the entire time. I was building out the setup. We got a vacuum pump. We got actually went through several vacuum pumps in order to get to those proper vacuum levels of like -6, -7 torch. It's very difficult to reach. That's the vacuum level that the International Space Station is flying at. It's like,
wow.
It's really
it's real deal. It's legit.
It's legit. It's outer space vacuum. It's not easy to reach.
It's not, it's made in your shop, but it's not some like.
It's not like 100,000 feet or
made in somebody's back garage, right? This is like legit.
This is a legit level of vacuum, and it took me a while to get it. We had a group of people getting together, including people who flew in from South Africa, from Portugal, people who've been researching this for many, many years. And Jesse was supposed to show up for that, but unfortunately he had scheduling conflicts and flaked out on me.
Did he at least give warning, like, hey man, I'm not sure, he just didn't, just like, all right, just radio silence?
Yeah, I think he gave me like a week or so warning.
At least that's better than nothing. Like, if
no, it wasn't.
I'd be pissed, like, if he's just like, all right, see you.
No, it wasn't just a straight up flake. He was just like, it was pretty close to the date, but it was close enough that we weren't going to reschedule everything because
right, exactly. You got 30 other people here. You're not, for one guy. No, I'm not rescheduling shit. I got the other people here.
Yeah, so we ended up running the experiment. We got positive results. Not only did we get positive results, but we found that with that particular setup, the ion wind, which is a stronger effect, was pushing it in the opposite direction. So you'd only get the T. Townsend Brown thrusting effect when it was at a high enough vacuum, so that the ion wind wouldn't affect it. But and I actually got a video of it spinning one way. The pressure rises a bit because there's the high voltage makes things come off the walls and become gaseous again. And then it would rise to like -5, -4, and the thing would start spinning in the opposite direction because of ion wind.
Wow. So even though you're in a vacuum, it's still creating wind inside the vacuum.
What happens is high voltage basically it attracts little molecules that are on the glass or on the surfaces, and it pulls them into the space over there, which becomes a gas.
Wow.
So in some chambers, what they do is when they're pulling a vacuum, they heat the entire chamber up with a blanket, with like a heating blanket. And what this does is it forces all those molecules out, and you can suck them out quickly, and then have an even better vacuum. But a pure vacuum, like really strong vacuum, is very difficult to reach because of those problems. Another thing that is done in order to reach like super high vacuums, they use what's called a cold trap. So instead of warming up the sides to get everything out, and then pulling it out, the next thing they do is they cool down the sides. This way, anything that's left gets trapped in the side or the cold trap part of the vacuum chamber. That's how you can get to the -9, -11, like really, really strong vacuums.
So
that's like
long
deep
story
space.
short, the thing that you did, the thing that Jesse Michaels wanted you to do, you succeeded. You have
yeah, we built it, and
it's on camera working.
It's on camera working.
So where's your money?
Where's
hey, Jesse, pay the man.
Where's Jesse? Where's the money, huh?
And he said he wanted a professor, but you had a professor.
I had that. I had
so
several.
I could get it. He wants some but. Honestly, what is a professor? It's just somebody with a document, in my opinion. Like you know what I mean? Like you went to school for genetic studies, and now you're doing anti-gravity. So it's What does that really prove other than I'm a professor? Like it's just I understand he wants somebody to validate it, but if you produce the goods, don't welch the bet.
Yeah.
And you produced the goods, right?
I did produce the goods, and he actually said it on Joe Rogan because they brought it up as.
Oh, here's name drop you, which I thought was bullshit.
Yeah, he knew exactly what that video was
Falcon
from.
Space, guys. Falcon Space.
Falcon Space.
I love the name. I thought it was Millennium Falcon related because I'm a big Star Wars guy.
I love the Millennium Falcon. Actually, my last name Sokol means Falcon.
Which means Falcon, which is pretty. That's pretty freaking cool, man. That's actually. Really cool.
I love my last name. It's so cool.
So what is it essentially you have going on here? What is all these wonderful machines?
So this entire setup over here is actually in transition. We're in the middle of upgrading it, but I'll give you a little rundown on what this thing is. So here, we'll start with a guy named Frederick Alzafon back in the 60s or 70s or something like that. He was a physicist that studied under Eric Lensing, who was one of the main disciples of Einstein. So he knew relativity, special relativity, and all that pretty well. He was one of the top physicists at UC Berkeley. Him and his family, they're driving through Central California. Massive UFO flies overhead.
Wow. And
that set the entire family on a path. They're like, we need to figure out what this is. So one of the sons, David, who is kind of a bookworm, he was in a used bookstore and he found this book, Ufology by James McCampbell. And on page 108, 109, he came across what was supposed to be part of Project Blue Book, but it was removed for national security reasons. It was an intercept between a predecessor of the AWACS plane. That's the plane that has the radar antenna thingy, you know, that little pancake shaped thing on top. And it was measuring the signals off of a UFO. It had a close encounter with a UFO. Wow. And not only did it have
the UFO actually gave signals, like it actually let the signals bounce off of it, and it gave like date telemetry.
No, the UFO was producing signals, very strong signals.
Really?
And this plane had the capability not only to see what the signals are, but also record it. They were recording it on on magnetic tape or ticker tape or whatever. Okay. So they got actual imperialistic data, like actual data of what was coming off of the craft.
Wow, that's insane.
And what they recorded was 2.995 to 3,000 megacycles. So that's 2.995 gigahertz to 3 gigahertz at 2 microseconds, pulse width of 2 microseconds, pulse repetition of 600 cycles per second, or 600 hertz, and 400 RPM rotation, 4 rotations per minute. So the signal had a very interesting characteristic to it. And he brought this to his dad. His dad looked at that and he's like, that kind of rings a bell. I need to go to the library at UC Berkeley, the science library, to figure out what this is, because it sounds like it's manipulating matter in some unique way that I've read about before. So the dad walks through the library, and this book, Dynamic Nuclear Orientation by C.D. Jeffries, fell off the shelf in front of him onto the floor.
That's divine intervention, and I'm not religious.
That's like Interstellar. Yeah, the soul pushed the book off the shelf.
Yo,
so that moment, like, it made him realize there was something special about it. So he picked it up, started reading. I actually got a little foreword over here written by David Alzafon with a Polaroid of him holding this book.
That's cool.
And
your sticker in here.
what they found is that this is the only book on this topic that was ever written until just a couple months ago that somebody else wrote another one. It describes a method of orienting subatomic particle spins. So we're talking about protons and neutrons. In the core of the nucleus, you're manipulating the matter in the core of a nucleus. And it describes how to do it.
Way above my dumb pay grade. I'm a fireman. That's what I do. It's
So
way above my
you
pay
can
grade.
you can buy this used on Amazon. It's $5,000.
Jesus Christ, are you serious?
Yes.
Wow.
So it all started with this guy named Albert Overhauser, who in 1953, I remember that date, 1953, you know, Stephen Greer claims that they figured it out in 1954, right? Not a coincidence. Because in 1953, the paper on polarization of nuclei in metals came out. And on the second page of that report, how to orient the nuclei, that's the subatomic particles that he's talking about. Not the entire nucleus, the subatomic particles within the nucleus, the protons and the neutron spins. That's what you're orienting. What he discovered was a way to do that. And when you orient them, they have a relaxation time, which is dependent on the thermal in the system. How hot is it? The colder it is, the longer the relaxation time, because there's thermal equilibrium, the thermal processes. Thermal is basically atom to atom banging into each other. That's what heat is. So the more of that, the less noise between atom to atom banging into each other, the more coherent the subatomic spins will remain. So what he discovered was that although the relaxation time did increase as you got colder, even at cryogenic temperatures of liquid helium and below, which is like as close as you can get to near 0 Kelvin, the relaxation time was over 100 times faster than that predicted than by theory. So an important relaxation mechanism has probably been overlooked. An important relaxation method has probably been overlooked. And he wrote that in his paper, right over here. And there was no more papers by Overhauser on the subject. That's where anti-gravity went black. Because that important relaxation mechanism was gravity. So maintaining a state of spin orientation of subatomic particles makes gravity, which gravity is coming from planet Earth, which is not spin-oriented. So if they want to couple to each other, they need to be spin-oriented and non-spin-oriented can't couple, but they can make the non-spin-oriented, the spin-oriented non-spin-oriented, and it will have to do work on it. And when it does work on it, it kind of weakens the gravity. That's why we're calling it anti-gravity. Another way to look at it is, this is my favorite method because you can explain this to a little kid and everyone understands it.
So I'm going to get it perfectly.
Yeah, I sure hope so.
The part of the video for me. I've been waiting for this.
Yes.
You lost me 10 minutes ago.
Okay, so E equals mc squared. Energy and matter are equivalent.
Yes.
So we know that the matter in an atom comes from the core, because if it was the entire atom, every single atom would weigh the same. But helium is heavier than hydrogen, therefore it's got to be in the core. It's the protons and neutrons. And the protons and neutrons we have, let's look at them as electromagnetic energy spun in on itself. Now we got something that's spinning like this. This is a gyroscope, right? When a gyroscope is spinning, we'll spin it up. It's free to move along its plane and along its axis. You can go like this in all directions, it's fine. But if I try to change the orientation, it would want to wobble around.
It wobbles it, yeah.
It would want to wobble around in a different orientation. So remember that. Free to move along its plane and along its axis. That's the nature. That's the nature of a gyroscope. Now, the subatomic particles in the core of the atom, they're wobbling around in many different directions simultaneously. They got incoherent wobbles through the wazoo. I'll play with that a little bit. So in the core of the atom, imagine we have a whole bunch of these gyroscopes. It's a ball of gyroscopes that are all wobbling around in different directions. And when you move the atom through space, if you move it in a new direction, you're going to change the wobbles of the subatomic particles.
Right.
The wobbles are going to change.
Right.
That's where mass comes from. That's the coupling between the energy in the core and the energy that we interact with as mass. When you throw a baseball, all you're doing is changing the wobbles of the subatomic particles. That's how you gave it that energy, that momentum. So when a rocket ship shoots out propellant out of its ass in order to move in the other direction, all it's doing is trading the wobbles of the propellant for the wobbles of the craft. That's how it creates momentum in the opposite direction. To get rid of that, all you got to do is orient it. By orienting the spins of the subatomic particles, the craft now no longer couples in that way. It now is free to move along its plane and along its axis without any restriction.
So do you need nuclear energy to make anti-gravity?
No, it's not nuclear energy.
Really? Okay.
No, this is nuclear spin.
Okay.
Nuclear energy is hot nuclear. It's a totally different thing. All you need is microwaves in a magnetic field.
Wow, okay.
And which is why, so now it's free to move along its plane and axes without any restriction. One thing it can't do a barrel roll because it doesn't have the thrusters for that. It doesn't really need thrusters.
Right.
So that's why we don't see flying saucers do barrel rolls. In fact, many times we see them slowly change their orientation to a new position before shooting off at a crazy speed.
Yeah, I've heard that they do that. Like, well, the one guy was talking about it came out of the water, it stood for a second, equalized, and then took off. But then it's crazy because the thing that what I saw was a crescent-shaped craft. It was flat like this and turned sideways and just drifted across the sky, and it was just gone. Blew my, I didn't. You were lucky. You saw yours as a child. I saw mine last year filming the drones, and ever since then I've been just infatuated with it. Like
It slowly changed into a new orientation before moving.
No, it just glided across the sky perfectly fine. Just tilted this way, and I saw it was it was C-shaped, like C or a boomerang, basically, and it just went zoop right across the sky, iridescent in the light, like a bluey whitish glow. It's flat, turned sideways, it was gone. I saw it, and and I had the camera like this, and I went, holy shit, gone. 5 minutes later, that's when a helicopter flew over me. But it's like, I don't know, I've been infatuated. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I'm here with you now, because of that. I just can't get it out of my head. I don't know what the hell it was, but it just blew my mind. But it was crazy, like just nuts.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So many close encounters with flying saucers. Like you got people like what's his name? That logger dude. A guy was up in the mountains of Tennessee, and he had a close encounter and ended up on board the spaceship.
He's got the fire in the sky.
Yeah, fire in the sky.
Yes.
What's his name?
Damn it, I can't remember. David, Mark.
No, it wasn't David.
Mark.
Whatever. But there was a lot of instances where people get close to these craft and they end up with microwave burns.
Yeah, radiation burns. So I wouldn't go anywhere near that shit.
Yeah, it's
No way.
It's electromagnetic radiation. It's not ionizing radiation.
Okay.
And the reason for that is because the primary methods of achieving dynamic nuclear polarization is using microwaves, which is why we have lots of microwave equipment over here. You're actually sitting next to a microwave amplifier and a microwave signal generator.
Very nice.
This is all microwave equipment because
So
we're
can you have your soup?
we're studying these exact effects. And another thing you see with the occupants of the craft is they're wearing these like silver onesies. Mm-hmm. What do you think that is?
Probably to keep the radiation away.
It's to keep the radiation away. And check this out.
You got one?
I got
He's got a spacesuit.
I got a bunch of them.
Really?
Yeah, we made.
That's dope.
This is actually made out of silver coated nylon.
That's cool.
And
so this is similar to what they're probably wearing, right?
Yeah, this is a similar material to what they're wearing, and it's basically protects us from the effects of the microwave radiation when it's turned on. It kind of looks like a full burqa when you put it on. But
so you got to put the whole thing on head to toe, and that's basically all that protects you. That's pretty cool.
Actually, you know, it's crazy. They used to make fun of the tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists. So but the tinfoil hat conspiracy theorists were the ones that were researching this shit. Wow. Because they knew that you need tinfoil.
Well, listen,
hats.
they did the whole conspiracy thing was to discredit anybody who was right. That's why conspiracy theory was created. It's bullshit. Conspiracy theorists are usually right. Look what just happened with the last 5 years. Everything that's conspiracy is the truth now. It's insane. So who knows what that's going to be the truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep, the COVID vaccine origins,
Yes, sir.
The efficacy of its of the vaccine, and all that shit.
My wife comes from Big Pharma, and she was like, "We're not taking that until we know for sure what's in it." Not that we're not taking it. We wanted to know what was in it, and they didn't tell us. And I said, "No, thank you. I'm not doing it." I almost lost my job because of it, and I don't care. I would have lost it, and gladly. I didn't care. I wasn't.
I believe that there needs to be an amendment to the Constitution that gives us the right to our own bodies.
Bro, just cut through. You're good, man. This is work. This is a shop. I'm okay with that. It's a busy shop. It shows that he's got stuff going on. I don't want you climbing like Spider-Man. Please walk through. We're good, man. That's all right.
Yeah, I think there should be an amendment to the Constitution for the rights to our own body, because
100%.
We have a right to bear arms, but we don't have a right to our own body.
Right, you got a right to kill babies when you want to because it's a Tuesday. That's your prerogative. I'm okay with it. You want to do it, pay for it, but don't force stuff on me. That's how I am. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, it's your body.
Yes, leave me alone.
Yeah.
You want to pump 11 vials of vaccine in you? Go for it. I'm all for it. Just leave me alone.
Yeah,
that's how I look.
You cannot force somebody
correct
to take a medicine that they don't want to take. Whether you call it a medicine. For one person, it's a medicine. For the other person, it's a drug. For the other person, it's poison.
Yes, sir. I'm right there with you. Look what Aaron Rodgers, he said he's allergic to the ingredients. So what, he's going to force that into his body and then hurt himself for what? It's stupid. But we're off our high horse. Aluminum. Aluminum.
This is not aluminum, it's silver.
Silver coated nylon. That is really cool.
Yep. And this was custom made too.
You freak people out like, oh, we're in a cult now. Have them walk in, you're chanting, the lights are blinking. So what else do we have here? What are all these invalid probe and all these wonderful? These are all microwaves, or what is all this?
It only says invalid probe because we had to turn.
It's not running. No,
it's not running. Yeah. If I push enter over here, it would ask me.
Now it's time to probe, like the
yeah.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, those are magnetic field sensors. We got so there's a magnetic. In order to make this happen, we're combining two things: microwaves and magnetic field. But a recent paper that I found said that if we combine light with it as well, in order to make these triplet state electron pairs, we could increase the effect by 250,000 times.
Wow.
So I said, sign me up. And we're in the middle of signing up.
Well, unfortunately, I came in the middle of them rebuilding everything, which is totally fine. I'm sure you've got plenty of video footage you can send me of something floating or something working. I just show it.
We actually have a science paper over here from one of the earlier tests we did, and we actually published this as a poster session at the ENC, the Experimental Nuclear Magnetic Resonance Conference. So we went to a conference where people there actually understand what dynamic nuclear polarization is. They work with it on a daily basis because it also increases nuclear magnetic resonance's signal-to-noise ratio.
Is there any personal information out here you don't want shown?
No, you can.
Okay. So what I'll do is I'll take a picture of it afterwards, and
I could give you the PDF too.
Okay, that works.
So that worked out pretty well. The people there were very interested. One thing that they were asking us a lot was, how in the world are you taking a weight measurement? Because in the industry of nuclear magnetic resonance spectroscopy, it's normally Pfizer, let's say, or Bayer sends out makes a new batch of aspirin, and they need to have it analyzed. They send it over to NMR lab. The NMR lab tries the NMR. It's not sensitive enough. They stick it into a DNP machine with an NMR enhancement, and now they're able to finally get a signal back from it and able to say with a high level of certainty that your sample is 98% pure.
Right.
That's how they're able to know. So the DNP, dynamic nuclear polarization, is a method of increasing nuclear magnetic resonance's signal-to-noise ratio. Because by making the atom more coherent, or aligning all the spins, that also makes the nuclear spin, which is the entire spin of the atom as a whole, that strengthens its coupling to the microwaves too. It's actually megahertz for that, it's not microwaves. So yeah, that's what it's used for in industry. And the entire industry, since it's geared towards spectroscopy, nobody's measuring the weight. in order to measure weight, you need to have a sample that's free to move. For spectroscopy, you need to have a sample that can't move at all.
Right.
Because if it moves, then it's going to screw up your spectroscopy measurements. So the two industries, although they have almost the exact same equipment, they're incompatible in the research level unless somebody wants to modify their $50 million spectroscopy machine. That equipment. That equipment is extremely expensive.
Cheap. I'll take 2, please.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So you also showed me before, what was that, the silver foil stuff you showed me? What is the purpose of that?
So while we're working on the laser light, I also decided it would be time to upgrade our microwave resonant cavity. Silver is one of the best conductors of electricity at room temperature, so we're upgrading the end plates to be silver. And we're using real silver foil, actually.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
We had to anneal it because it was slightly curved, so brought it up to like 1100 Fahrenheit, and then cooled it off in a flat position, so it's like nice and flat right now. So it's looking good.
That thing looked pretty cool. Then you polish it up.
I hope it's gonna look good. Yeah.
So what's next for you guys? What's the next step? Like what's down the line? What's in the future? What is it you guys want to do? Obviously, you want to produce a craft that could.
Yeah. So we're in stage 1 right now, which is like proof of concept, trying to figure out exactly how this stuff works, how to perfect it, how to make it, how to see this effect on a more macro scale. And then from there, once we figure that out in a very controlled environment like this, we'll be able to move towards a less controlled environment where the effect, instead of happening being externally induced with resonant cavities and all that, we'd be able to have all the electronics on board and the effect happening outside. Also, it's important to note that you don't have to orient everything in the craft. All you have to orient is the outer shell. Like the outer micron level is all you have to orient, and everything inside of it becomes oriented to the same degree. This is well known in the spectroscopy world because they do this regularly with their samples.
Can you explain what that means, like in like I'm 5, orient and explain what you mean by that?
So we're orienting the spins. We're making the spins of the protons and the neutrons together, that they're spinning together. They're no longer random. It's just like laser light is coherent light. We're making coherent matter. So we're taking regular matter that's incoherent, it's like wobbling in all directions, which is the ground state of standard matter, and we're making it oriented just like a laser light is to regular light.
Okay.
And
so you're not talking about the actual thing being oriented. You're talking about like the matter and the molecules that are. Okay.
The subatomic particles.
Yes. I'm thinking orient. I'm thinking the actual item is.
Well, the spin will be oriented with the magnetic field that it's working with. So it starts. A magnetic field, by the way, is just orientation of electrons. That's the definition of a magnetic field. Nothing more, nothing less.
That's what they're claiming, that UFOs. They're claiming that the UFOs produces a bubble that sits inside the bubble. And
the bubble is a magnetic field, and then they use the magnetic field to orient the subatomic spins using microwaves.
Right.
And that would be the bubble that they sit in. The problem with UFOs, the reason why they sometimes when they land, they need rockets to take off. Like the Lanny Zamora case, he saw a rocket.
Really?
Yeah, there was a rocket.
Huh.
And it was probably a hydrogen-oxygen rocket, which is what I would recommend. The reason for that is dynamic nuclear polarization is very difficult to achieve to a high degree if you have matter nearby, because you're going to have to orient the ground too. And many UFOs have been seen to, when they take off, they pull up a patch of grass with them too.
Really?
Yeah, there's cases like that where there's a round patch of grass that was picked up by the UFO and dropped 100 feet away. And the reason for that is because the craft, if it's going to make that bubble of oriented spin, the ground is going to be in that bubble
right.
of
so
oriented spin.
I got it. That makes
so
sense.
take it with it.
And then that's interesting. That's really interesting. It's nutty. They said it needs a lot of. You must burn a lot of electricity here, right? Like it must be. You must go a lot of electricity in this place.
We do burn through a lot of electricity, but it's mostly for keeping things cool. Okay. The amount of electricity to run this experiment and the amount of energy required to achieve DNP minus the inefficiencies, it may be zero because you're not introducing any energy into the system.
Well, what about that 0-point energy stuff that Ashton Forbes is talking about? Is that related to this stuff too? Is that?
It might be. I don't think it is.
Much?
Yeah, Ashton Forbes is. He seems to get his dopamine by staying relevant. So
he likes to argue with people.
He likes to argue with people.
He makes me laugh a little bit. I'm sorry. Like the doxing thing, I'm not a fan of, but he just watching him rip people to pieces. Sometimes it's kind of funny, but.
Yeah, and he gets on and starts talking about free energy and 0-point energy and this, that, and the other. And we've been researching that stuff. I know people that are on the forefront of it, and they're looking at microwatts of electricity being pulled out of the ether, and there is very small amounts of energy to be pulled out through the Casimir effect or through. But the real free energy that we need is thermoelectric conversion. Mm-hmm. That would be the real solving grace, because if we can take all the extra thermal energy that we already have, that we've already, with all the global warming and all that shit, if we could take energy out of the ocean in the form of thermal pump, so basically we're pulling in warm water and pumping out cold water, mm-hmm. turn that into electricity. Or turn on an air conditioner and produce electricity instead of creating electricity. That doesn't break the law of any laws of physics. Right. It's totally possible to do it. That would be the way to truly save the world, without dealing with any nuclear shit.
That would save a lot. Just free energy alone would bring all these civilizations into the 21st century like that, because now you've got renewable.
But
energy.
It's never free energy. There's no such thing as the only way you get free energy is by stealing it. That would be stolen energy. And I know a lot of people that are very good at stealing energy, but that's different. You'll never have free energy because you'd always have to have a device that makes it, and somebody's going to have to build it and maintain those devices. So free energy is a dream that will never happen, just like free food and
free schooling and free everything.
Yeah, free healthcare.
Yeah.
If somebody has to build it and work for it, it ain't
got to be
free.
paid for. Period.
I'll tell you what is free. Air is free.
For now.
And if it rains, that's going to be free too.
Yep.
But the UN tried making food a human right.
Yeah, but now they're trying to give us bugs, so I don't think so. you keep your damn insects to yourself. That's not my cup of tea.
Oh, so I skipped one more step in the whole story of the anti-gravity stuff. Is this guy Frederick Alzafan? He came up with his theory and he filed for a patent. And when he filed for a patent, he wrote a paper, Anti-Gravity with Present Technology, Implementation and Theoretical Foundation. He published this at the AIAA, Joint Professional Conference in 1981. Being as his patent was already in the process, he thought, yes, I'm safe. I will become a billionaire next year when we figure this out and have craft going. His patent was denied on national security grounds, but the paper was already out. So that's how we know about this theory and how it became public knowledge.
Huh. So what do you think of, they're talking about, obviously, these things are traveling faster than the speed of light, but there's no way possible for them to travel across galaxies, XYZ. Do you think teleportation and wormholes is something that's possible using whatever the hell they're using? Do you think that's something that's possible, or how do you think they're getting from place to place? Do you think they're literally flying from here to, say, Mars, or do you think that they're opening a wormhole, going through it, and popping out at the other side?
I think they're doing both. A close friend of mine saw a wormhole open up, and a craft came out, and then it communicated with him. And
the craft communicated with him?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
telepathically.
Wow.
Yeah, and it told him that you you can have one of these craft yourself if you work hard enough. And he works with me.
Oh, he worked with you?
Yeah, he works with me.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah.
So has he had other like dealings with? Is he an experiencer? Is he an abductee or?
I don't think so. No, he's just a very smart kid.
Wow, and it actually spoke to him and said, "You can have this if you work hard enough."
Yeah.
That's
So the way I look at it is, getting back to what I was talking about before. I remember when I did this, and I said, imagine this is the nucleus of the atom. You got all these subatomic particles, gyroscopes wobbling around in many different directions simultaneously, right? I would theorize, and I can't prove this, but I would theorize that the wobbles of subatomic particles do more than just give it inertia. It's possible they also give it time and space.
Okay.
So if that's true, you could have a ring of energy that would orient all of your particles, not orient them together, but orient them into a wobble that is that place and that time that you want to go to.
Yeah.
That would be a wormhole.
Huh.
Another thing to consider about traveling the cosmos is that when you're traveling at the speed of light, you go across the universe instantaneously from your perspective.
You think so?
Yes, because time slows down. So for a photon that leaves the sun until it hits planet Earth, from our perspective, it's 8 minutes, but from the photon's perspective, it's less than a second.
Wow.
And the same is true for the photon going to the next star system. So if you're traveling at the speed of light, there is time dilation for everyone else. But for you, the time goes in the other direction. Like you move across the galaxy instantaneously.
Huh. I wonder if that is how that works. That's kind of interesting. That's pretty cool.
So satellites that travel around the Earth, they've done experiments with like cesium atomic clocks, and there's time dilation in those clocks. In fact, it's factored into special relativity and regular relativity are factored into the GPS system. So there's two things that affect time: relative speed and relative gravity. So being closer to the core of the Earth, we have stronger gravity, time slows down. Being faster than us, time slows down for it. So both of those factors need to be factored in when calculating the time in order to know our position on Earth. Because all a GPS system is a satellite that's pinging out what time it is. And your watch, based on knowing what time it is, from that clock and from that clock and from that clock over there, and the distance that it takes, and the position based on this algorithm of known orbits, it's able to triangulate and figure out where we are.
That's crazy. Yeah, it's batty because they said it used to be we're stationary. Now we're traveling through space as the galaxy is moving with us, and that blows my mind because now we're never in the same spot. So how do you know? Let's just say you are using wormholes to teleport here. How do you know where we're going to be?
Have you ever seen the Andromeda Galaxy with your naked eye?
No, I don't know what that is. No.
So it's our neighboring galaxy. You could see it in the dark sky. The Andromeda Galaxy is actually the center of gravitational mass for our local universe.
So is that basically what's pulling us with it? Because they're claiming we're moving through space, correct?
Yeah, we're moving through space towards Andromeda. Andromeda is a lot bigger than Milky Way.
Okay, so are we chasing it? Is it moving too, or is that stationary?
I think we're kind of like orbiting it. I'm not certain about that, but
I'm really curious what happens when we actually catch up to it.
Oh, they said we will eventually, not in our lifetime,
Okay.
Probably not on Earth's lifetime either.
Yeah.
But likely, what would happen is there probably wouldn't be any matter that actually interacted. Maybe a few things, because a galaxy is mostly empty space. Mm-hmm. So the chances of things actually hitting each other are kind of low, except in the core of the galaxies. Over there, you probably would have astral collisions, which would be pretty cool.
It's absolutely crazy. Just to think about it. It's not like a lot of this stuff conceptually took me forever to get it. Like the interdimensional thing, it threw me off for the longest time. And now that they're kind of linking them to the angels and demons, it makes sense. This is what they explained in religion, angels and demons are these interdimensional beings. So let's, maybe they have I just want to know what happens after death, or what are we, where are we from, and
you could talk to the people who had near-death experiences.
Sure, yeah. I've had so many goddamn questions. And
astral projection and all that.
Yeah, that's the type of stuff that my father allegedly could do that. Like, they would see my father not in his body. He would show up next to my drunk uncle driving home and freak him out that he could do that. And I never could do it. It's
I did it once, yeah.
You did it?
It's
yeah.
cool, yeah. Your dad did it while he was alive?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad supposedly could do some weird shit. I didn't know him much. I wasn't too close to him. I know since I was a child, if there's some type of ghost in a house, I'll feel it and know it's there. Like, that's the shit that freaks me out. Like, I like alien stuff all day, but the ghost stuff, no, I don't want to bring it to my house. I don't like that stuff. Because I've seen weird shit and it freaks me out. Like,
have you ever heard of the Code of Reality?
No, what is that?
So apparently, when you're high on psychedelics,
oh, like DMT. Yeah.
DMT, yeah, and you stare into a laser light, not into the beam itself, but into like the reflection of it, and like a laser line beam. You're able to see this, and you focus your eyes on a point beyond where the beam is. You're able to see this. It looks like a wall of light, and if you look closely, you'll see letters starting to form, and it looks like letters that are just moving down,
like the Matrix.
Just like in the Matrix, yeah.
That's crazy.
And the craziest thing is that everyone who sees this effect sees the
same thing. I've heard that. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I've heard that. I like it, but yeah, the ghost stuff when I was, it really freaks me out. And I've seen weird shit and experienced a lot of it. Nope, don't like it.
Oh, I love that stuff.
It's cool, but like my firehouse is haunted, like legitimately haunted. I'm not kidding you. It's haunted.
You burn sage in there?
No.
Try it.
No, If
you're
assuming,
afraid of haunted shit, you should get some sage.
It's not that I'm afraid of it. It's I experience it more than most people. I see things.
Get sage, dude.
But I think it's a firefighter, and I don't want to push the firefighter out of the firehouse because when you work there, you work there for 30 years of your life, just about, right? Most firemen do 25, 30 years, right? It's the happiest place in your life. It really is the greatest place ever. It's fucking amazing. It really is. So you're happy when you're always laughing a lot. You're always joking around. It's an emotional place because you experience very big highs because you see really screwed up shit, and only those guys know what you're going through, and you get big lows because of the shit you're seeing. So I think I think that we're drawn back to that as an energy source, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So that's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking that these firemen are drawn back to it, and they just like to prank us. Like, you'll be laying in bed, and you'll just feel something do this to you. Or you'll feel it sit on the bed. Or sit on me, which is what it did a couple weeks ago at 8 o'clock at night. I'm taking my shoe off, and it sits on my leg. I'm like, get the fuck, I freaked. I'm like, get the fuck off me, knock it off. I freaked. I'm sorry, it's derailing this, but yeah. The ghost stuff freaks me out. Alien stuff I could do all day. As long as I'm not getting probed, I'm good.
Quagmire wants the probe.
I can fight an alien. I can't fist fight a ghost. Do you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. So I'm not going to win against the alien, but I can.
You know what Israel means?
No.
So there's a story in the Bible in the end of the book of Genesis where Jacob is moving some of his shit across a river, and a messenger of the Elohim comes down, or basically an alien came down, and they got into a fist fight. And he ended up hitting him, like incapacitating the alien or whatever. And the alien named him Israel, or Sar-El, which means he fought with an alien.
Wow.
So Israel means to fight with an alien.
To fight with an alien, right? Yeah. The whole name of the country. That's.
Isn't that crazy?
That's fucking insane. Yeah, and but
my full name is Yisrael Me'er, which means to enlighten everyone about fighting with aliens.
I was going to say, so you're the fighting Falcon of aliens.
Yeah. Is that crazy?
That's nuts, man. Yeah, no, this is cool. I like this. This is awesome. Thank you. So what's next for you guys? Next for you guys is to actually develop something that could float around and you can fly around, right?
Yeah. And the goal, the dream is to build a craft that can mine the asteroid belt and shut down open pit mining, because there is already highly refined metals out there that were refined in the core of a planet that probably existed a long time ago. And once we get that done, and get a couple craft in the air and try to end airplanes and cargo ships, and we definitely be bringing humanity into contact with extraterrestrials. And I believe in doing so, it would end many of these alien worshipping religions, such as Islam and Judaism, because once the aliens show up and say, hey, Allah was an alien, Jehovah was an alien.
Jesus was an alien, right?
Jesus was an alien hybrid.
You think so?
His mother was human.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, duh. True. Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah, she and the in vitro fertilization, the story is true. It's just that you're not looking at it right. It's just Mother Mary was a virgin birth, and virgin births happen here all the time on Earth. People just don't realize what it is. A virgin birth is just a lesbian that wants to have a kid goes with IVF.
Yeah, very true. You're right. You're right about that.
That's a virgin birth.
Or just a woman in general. Yeah, you're right about that. Just a woman in general that gets IVF that's a lesbian. That makes sense because then she doesn't have sex with men. That makes clear sense.
Yeah.
That's a great way of putting it. That's a very simple way of putting it.
I mean, it's not very spiritual and exciting. But Vito, thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me, both.
Been a pleasure.
Cool. If you ever do anything really cool to see, please invite me back. I'll get it up and we'll get it on YouTube.
Yeah, definitely.
This is going to be on YouTube, Rumble, and I'll link it on Twitter. Obviously, I'll post it everywhere for you.
Yeah, I'm on Twitter. I'm there on Twitter, Falcon Space Labs.
Falcon Space, yep. Yeah.
You guys can also find us on falconspace.org. Make sure to check out the Alternative Propulsion Engineering Conference, or A.P.E.X.
Mm-hmm.
That's altpropulsion.com. And over there you can find all the researchers and theoreticians, physicists that are in this field presenting their work in an open format with questions and answers, Q&A sessions. And we're trying to make a community around this research so that it's not just one-off. We get an experiment and then it just disappears, because that's been the past. We want to move forward.
Yeah, I want to see you guys fund it out the ass, and I want to see you guys flying shit around. That's what I'm no bullshit. I would love to see.
That's what I would like.
You're
to see.
from Jersey. I'm a big Jersey guy. I want to see a Jersey guy do a spaceship.
Yes.
Let's go.
And people don't realize, but New Jersey is the cradle of a lot of electronic, a lot of electronics. Bell Labs is here. The area code for my cell phone is 201. That's the #1 area code in the world. Washington, D.C. has 202. Mm-hmm. We have 201 because this is where it started.
Yeah.
This is the cradle of electronics innovation. Right here in New Jersey, right in the outskirts of New York. Thomas Edison.
Yep.
Right here
in West Orange, New Jersey.
Yes.
Which is my hometown is Orange.
Yep. And Nikola Tesla, he was here as well.
Yep.
All of the major innovations of electronics happened in New Jersey. So it's very fitting that it happens in Hawthorne, New Jersey. Whereas in Hawthorne, California, we have another company called SpaceX doing rocket propulsion.
Small company. You might have heard of them.
Yeah,
little company.
They shoot these little dick-shaped things into space.
Yep.
They make a lot of noise as they...
And Jersey is also a big hotbed for paranormal and UFO. It's a huge hotbed for UFO stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hence the drones. That's what I think the drones were here to watch, because I've never, 49 now, I was 48 when I saw it. I'd never seen anything until then. It's the first time I've ever seen anything in the sky, and I look constantly. And it's not a coincidence that when there's these weird these weird ships in the air that are hovering, that you're seeing other things with it. It just, it went hand in hand for me for sure.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking it was, so I don't think it's adversarial. I don't think it's adversarial because they shut down Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, which you know what the significance of that place is. They shut down the bases all over New Jersey. They shut down Picatinny Arsenal. They shut down a bunch of them in Germany, England. So if things are strong enough to shut that down, they can't get near them. They can't shut them. They can't get close to them. So it's either NHI, aliens, or rogue AI is what I was thinking it was.
Those are all valid hypotheses. I don't know how we're going to even know. I don't know what the answer is, but...
well, they're certainly not telling us, which kind of pissed me off a little. I was hoping for some type of answer, but we didn't get it. So maybe they'll come back. We'll see them again.
If they come back, I'm going to have my bow and arrow ready. Shoot one down.
Did you see someone trying to shoot it with a gun?
No.
You didn't see that one?
No, what
I'll send
happened?
you the video. Someone's trying to shooting at it with a rifle.
What happened?
Nothing. They missed.
They missed.
They were trying to shoot it with a rifle. Yeah. I'm surprised you didn't see that. I'll find it. It's funny. I'll send it to you. But thank you very much for doing this. I appreciate it, for having me in your shop and taking time out of your busy day. And thank you.
Been a pleasure.